Ready to dominate Weekend League? Head on over to MaddenTurf.com for all the ebooks, tips, memberships, everything you need to start heading on that road to top 100. As always, use code CC for 10% off, and I'll see you guys on the sticks. Hey, what is going on, Madden family? We are here today, and we got all the launch information for MUT 21. It's all of it. It is a lot, okay? It's a lot. It's probably just too much. But we're going to try to cover it all here. And we can't even cover it all. I mean, there's a MUThead database, which is now out, which I would love to cover. There's the team builder. There's so much else to cover. But we're not covering all that right here. Except for the Isaiah Simmons Rookie Master. Looks amazing. 90 speed card. Whew. Great. If you are new, please hit subscribe. If you enjoy the video, please hit like. It really helps me out. Let's get into this. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on everything here as well. I'm going to look at my screen as I do this here. So they first talked about the player art. Obviously, it's a big thing that people have had. There are indeed two. There are two views of the card. One is this, we'll call it a detailed view right here, which is kind of the one we've seen, the one that people complained about. And then we see is Lamar Jackson here. There's also an expanded view just for more art. So we are going to get to see the more art at times as well. Okay. Especially like the core cards are... you know, the core league cards are just whatever. But nonetheless, that's how we're going to see stuff. Okay. So we can sort of get past that a little bit. Here they talked about how much space you actually get for player arts. So even trying to show now that this Madden 21 Focus version gave more, because in the Madden 20 version, you see like the green space and there's like, you can see that there's card art, not on the green space in Madden 20. But it was technically like overlaid with something, so they didn't consider it space there. So now you're going to get your your power-up symbol isn't on there. Your limited symbol isn't on the card art at all. It's just going to be focused on that. So we need to wait and see. I need to see it in person a lot and before I really pass judgment. So that's there. Again, as you look through your binder, when you're hovered over a card, you're going to see the focused version. Everything else is going to be not focused. Again, that's pretty simple to see there. We see here, this is how the lineup screen works. Again, focusing on the cards shows you the focused version. You also see next to Aaron Donald and Bobby Wagner, they have a 2 and a 3. That's ability cap points. So no longer is it 3 offensive players, 3 defensive players. You can pick as many as you want within the cap. Now, I believe the ability cap starts at 10 on defense this year. We don't know what some of the cap numbers are on these abilities. So that's something we'll actually have to dig into when we get the game. But that also, you see that the notes right there, these guys have abilities active, right? Same thing right here. There's no more turning the card over. You just get this view. If you want to sort of view the back of the card, we're going to see home, attributes, and upgrades. Again, it's the typical stuff that you would have normally seen before. On the upgrade section, again, it looks very similar, except what we are going to see here on the top there is like in the added number of like training points you need for upgrading a card, right? So that's that. And then we get into ability caps, which is huge. Now this screen is wrong. The screen was wrong here. At 98 overall, you get 4 ability slots, and 99 overall, you get 5 ability slots. That's per card, okay? So it makes sense, right? Just makes sense, okay? Bobby Wagner here, like we see here with him, how he has reach elite here. We see there in the middle of the screen 1 AP, that is 1 ability point for reach elite. Currently, you're going to get 10 ability points to start the year on each side of the ball. So you could have 10 players with reach elite, I guess, basically. I also talked about how X factors will not be counted towards ability points at the time. We see here Tackle Supreme is 2 ability points, but it's something you can only get at 96 overall anyway, so it doesn't really matter there. The amount of ability points something takes will also vary by archetype. So a Field General, maybe his is 2 ability points for Tackle Supreme here, whereas a different type of linebacker, I can't even think, would be different, right? So that is a sort of change there. We see here our X factors, no ability points right there. This is how we're going to activate players. We'll probably have to just do a tutorial on this when the game comes out to make a lot more sense, because I think it's a little complicated. So we'll talk more about that when the game's out. When you start up this year, you are going to be starting into a solo sequence called Rivals, where you're going to get an 85 overall card. Now, Big Ben's not the best card. Jalen Smith is not a bad card to start for free. And honestly, neither is Zach Ertz. His run block is low. But those aren't bad cards at all to start for doing a little bit of a solo sequence there. Free cards, we like free cards, right? Additionally, this is where you're going to be going in and seeing which team captain you would like as well. And I mean, running back, receiver, D tackle, cornerback, right? Eddie George, Leroy Glover, Ed McCaffrey, and Aeneas Williams. The good thing about team captains is you can switch them out at any time you want, right? If you pick Eddie George, you're not stuck with Eddie George. That's a whole year thing. Additionally, every team captain gets every single team chemistry. Huge W there. Love that. Love that. So here's like the pack. Here's the Aeneas Williams, where again, you would be picking your team. So for me, like I would pick Falcons, Aeneas Williams. Obviously, if you're a Seahawks fan like Krayla was, you pick Seahawks, Aeneas Williams. Cool. And then obviously, as it goes here, you will get tokens for team captains throughout the year to upgrade them, but they start at 87. You don't even have to do anything with them. That's dope. I like that a lot better. The stats on Aeneas Williams here. Briefly, again, he gets abilities. Looks like he may be able to get additional positions here as well, potentially. So there's Aeneas Williams. One of the best corners we've seen in the game, honestly. Eddie George, one of the best running backs that changed the direction with the trucking and break tackle, and it's a good card. That's a really good card. We got Ed McCaffrey here. Again, big receiver at 85 speed. It's kind of like Mike Evans, just a little bit better. And then Leroy Glover, a very, very balanced defensive tackle with speed. I kind of want them all. You can't get them all, but I want them all, right? We also have epics coming back. Last year we had 2. You got 286s. Baker Mayfield, Deacon Jones. This year you can get 4. Now these cards do not go into power-ups. Okay, these are use them and lose them sort of things, or put them in the upgrade sets, which I assume exist. But we got Fitz, Adrian Peterson, Ronnie Lott, Jack Youngblood. Again here, Larry Fitzgerald. Always a little slow. I don't know why. Adrian Peterson. Again, pretty solid running back, but we've already seen there's lots of running backs. There's lots of running backs. There's always going to be lots of running backs. Ronnie Lott, it looks like the one I would pick if I were to do this personally. Jack Youngblood is pretty good. It's pretty good, all things considered, and they're free, so that's good. We get to Mutt Master, and we're talking about Sam Mills here. Now, Sam Mills may seem like an odd choice to people. If you don't know the story of Sam Mills, I suggest, honestly, you go look it up. It's a very good story with him, and that's sort of the direction they've taken with Mutt Master. I think the biggest complaint people will talk about him is he's short. Yes, we like tall players, but, you know, when they're making these choices based on sort of real world things, trying to honor people, I have no problem with it. And he's a really good card, besides his height. Getting Mutt Master is a little bit different this year. Obviously, there's a set of objectives. You could do those to get him to a 93. There's also series objectives, and this is going to happen, I believe, every series to get him a +1 upgrade. So if you complete, I believe they said 2 of these activities here, you'll get the +1 on him. If you complete them all, you get coins. You probably just complete them all anyway, which makes sense. Here he is as a 93 overall. Again, I told you, it's a pretty good card. I know he's not tall, but it's a pretty good card. And then here he's at 94, obviously +1's there. Super cool. And then the card art that you're eventually going to get for him also looks amazing. He will also be able to get every single team chemistry. Very dope. I know he was a Panthers and a Saint. 2 of my least favorite teams, but he's a Falcon in my team, you know what I mean? But a really good card. Again, like, I'm excited to use him. Level Master Andre Johnson, wonderful pick. We knew it was going to be a position where you could have multiples of someone. Receiver makes a lot of sense. I know we had Torrey Holt last year, so we got back-to-back those, but we also have so many other running backs in the game. It's tricky. So I like it at receiver. Andre Johnson is a player I personally like. I'm glad he's back in Ultimate Team. And again, the free card going up to 89 overall. Who can get every single team chemistry? You see a good pattern here, right? So these theme teams are getting a real big boost to start. I love it. I love what they did with it. I love this art that they have right here in particular. Reminds me of Mystery Players. I don't know if you guys remember the Mystery Players. Super dope. And similar to NFL 100, he will have some special X factors. Nothing like the Dickerson stuff, but that exists there as well. So he's here is that level master version of max security, right? And here's the stats: 86 speed, pretty good. His route running's all good. I mean, it's a great card. Everyone will obviously want to have that. But you probably have to get to level 9 or 50, I think it is for it. Team affinity, same word that MLB uses, but it's essentially a whole thing, right? From team builders and team diamonds, those are both coming back, right? A slightly different name this year, but they're same coming back. Where the team builders is based on completing some solos to get cards, and team diamonds is based on collecting cards, right? So like the Falcons team builders, like AJ Terrell, for example, right? Team diamonds, obviously this goes here. They did have it sort of blurred out at the top who the team diamond master is. It's Barry Sanders, according to Mutthead. But we see like this list right here, and I'm going to take my face cam away so you guys can see this completely. So we got Justin Smith, Jimbo. It's there's some typos in here. Takeo Spike's not bad. Kyle Williams, Dumerville, Frank Minifield, okay. Warwick Dunn for me, love that. Adrian Wilson, love that. Dante Hall again coming back. Bob Sanders, good safety. He's short. Travis Frederick, probably the highest rated center in the game. Mark Clayton, no problem there. Troy Vincent, love. Roddy White, love again for me. Giants get a lineman, sorry. Keenan McCardell, love him. Mo Lewis, shout out to him for bringing for Tom Brady. Robert Bourget, nice and fast player. Jermichael Finley, good tight end. Charles Johnson, okay. Asante Samuel, I love that as well. Rich Gannon, Dre Bly, love that. You see the rest of these guys, right? So not a bad list. Not a bad list at all there. Talk about legends now. Legends are changing, okay? Normally we got 2 legends and a limited every week. 2 legends, 1 limited. That's not a thing anymore. Now you get 2 legends and 2 boss versions of it, which are limited. But those are essentially, the boss version is like the powered up version, but you don't have to do the power up. So it saves you on training, I guess. They can all be used in the power up path when the next upgrade comes. So it's not like the stuff with Team of the Week worked before. So I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that, Okay. But it sounded like the reason that they were cutting back on that is because they're going to be using legends for a lot of other things. Like this thing they teased here called the 50. It sounded kind of like Mutt's version of the NFL 100, but with 50 people. Then Jake said it's not just Mutt. People who've been great in Mutt. It's Madden. Which means there's a lot of really good guys who never were in Mutt. Obviously, Mutt started in Mutt 10. There were players who existed before then who maybe they weren't a legend, but they were a Madden legend. I hope we see Madden legends in here. That's what I want. That's exciting. They got other Mutt stuff in here. Solo battles is obviously coming back. Weekend leagues coming back. Mutt dedication, your daily solos and rewards and all that is coming back. Level rewards coming back. They didn't show us a bunch. They showed us level 2 there. At level 7 is when you're going to get that level master Andre Johnson coming up. Level 10 is your first power up pass. Again, we're getting power up passes, obviously. And at level 50, you get an 87 to 88 overall power up pass. They didn't really mention the store offers for us. They obviously will exist. I don't know if there's going to be store offer at level 50. We'll have to find out when someone gets to level 50. We'll see how it goes. Additionally, during the EA Play / EA Access time, there's going to be a solo string where you can get a Nat 80 overall, 80 plus overall. If you want to use your 10 hours on that, feel free. Additionally, for loyalty, they did mention something with loyalty. If you've played Madden 18, 19, or 20 in the time that those games existed, so like in the time Madden 18 was out, before like Madden 19, right? So there's no point like going back and getting those games now. You get a pack to choose one of these cards. Bunch of 82 overall nat cards. Whitworth, okay. DeMarcus Lawrence, always a really good card. I think he was in the pack last year. It's the exact same thing. Darius Leonard, solid speed linebacker, good coverage. Obviously doesn't show on here. Emmanuel Sanders, meh, not for me personally. But Pat Pete, we got a free Pat Pete. Oh man, I was ready to pay for that card. Pat Pete's coming home. And then we got Mark Ingram as well. So not the best cards, but you get a free Pat Pete if you played Madden 20 or something. So that's okay. Additionally, when they're talking about changing consoles from the Xbox One to Xbox Series X or PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, these things are going to travel between your accounts constantly. They will always be the same. So your coins, training points, it's going to coexist, right? If you opened a pack on your PS4, it's going to take the coins away on PS5 as well, okay? So everything is just going to live the same. Your team's going to be there. You don't have to transfer anything, do anything like that. Pretty cool. And then my head was going to have ratings, which we can cover at a later date. I tried to get through this so you guys didn't have to sit for too long. We got it done in about 15 minutes. Please, guys, support. I love you. I'm going to see a lot of you guys. I'm out. Peace.